Alright, greetings Flow State Jedis. Welcome back to the channel. It's Master Makara back in the building. My name is Zoom, Dr. Scripps from IMC Nation. Let's get started today, man. Today we're talking about how to embody and have that sexual aura, right? That sex aura. A lot of people can sense that somebody's just being in their element, in their sexual expressiveness, and their ability to feel more alive, right? Like there's certain people that emanate and glow, and they're just bright. As soon as they walk into a room, you feel that sense of calm and ease that they have. They're not highly reactive, okay? Understand that you have to curtail down your reactions. You see the most sexiest characters in the movies. They're usually not very frantic. They're not trying to get things out of the way or try to filter things too much, right? They're simply being at their presence and understanding. Let's understand one thing, guys, okay? Sex is birth and death, symbolically and archetypically, okay? Sex in French is called le petit mort, which is the little death, okay? The orgasm that you experience is a little death. And sex is what gives, life. So that's another thing. You can also get life or life force energy and vitality from being born or coming into this world. And so understand already that there is a beginning and an end to how you are speaking, to how you are, encouraging yourself and carrying yourself. Say hi to all of the, crows over here, tapped in. You want to really think about how can you start to slowly embody this character, this version of you that will allow you to have this sexual aura, this imprint that you're going to leave on the world. Okay, because it really comes down to you sharing an imprint. Okay, now one thing that I love to do is I like to imagine that I am in fact having sex with the woman that I'm attracted to. I kind of just send them that energy, right? From my sacral chakra to theirs. I just go, yeah, you can have it. You can have that visualization if you want, okay? In that moment, I'm not trying to take my attention away or have 1,000 different things in my head, but I'm feeling through the momentum, okay? There's social momentum where you create a social hook point. There's also sexual momentum where you can create. I just finished my rent exam, okay? A random research proposal. And now I'm feeling good, man. I got that out of the way. It's like another thing that I got out of the way. So I'm feeling really good right now. I'm here in the park near my workplace. In the last few months, I've been really focusing in on spirituality. And I've started to notice that as I work on my spirituality and my magnetism, everything else is just a byproduct of that, man. Like, it's wild how me repeating a single mantra or me, doing some level of a meditation in the morning can help me get more calm, crystallize myself, and become more, effervescent. Like, really though, do you ever judge yourself? Because judgment actually restricts you socially, therefore also restricting you sexually. If you start judging yourself, this is not gonna work, she's out of my league, my dick's too small, I can't, get it up, I can't do that. All of these different things that you're stacking and you're telling yourself are all rationalizations. They're all different ways you try to take away from the experience and away from the present moment. So the real secret to having this aura is to raise your energy, okay? Is to raise that basal, lower, underground, secret, some people call it dirty, right? There's nothing dirty about it. There's dirty talk and sex, I agree, but it's a clean, purified process, right? Sacred energy exchange. So think about that. You're not just freely sharing a sexual encounter with just about anybody, right? You have your own kind of prerequisites or understandings, or maybe you have a type of person, even though, let's be honest, okay? I'm way beyond anybody's type in this physical world, okay? I look good today, man. I look so fucking good. You already know. That's that sex aura, to be honest with you. Looking good, feeling good, and emitting that to other people so they can embrace and bask in the afterglow of what you create. So the prana that is outside of you, it's all floating around you, right? Energy is always floating around you. It's prana. Everything is sex energy, right? If you think about it. So what makes you so sure that you don't have it within your aura? What magnetizes people to you? Like, what makes people obsessed and it's like a no-brainer option that they have to go home with you? Like, what is it about that? Does it come down to your survival? Does it come down to how you are very intellectual or dangerous as a man? Or, you know, how you've perfected yourself for your avatar in this physical waking world? Is it that you're working on your physicality in your physical body to understand different ways to feel sexy in your body, to feel sexy in your mind, and feel sexy in your soul, okay? 3 different ways that you can emit and incorporate the overall sex perception or sex aura. How do you have a sexy body? Workout programs there, okay, trying to sell you on the sexy body, okay, 6-pack abs in a week or whatever, right? They want you to all be this like abs dude, right? Abs dude, I don't think has the sex aura. I think the person with the giant traps and shoulders actually has more sex aura. And I think that's because they bring this kind of a physical dominance to them, right? Yes, you can be the K-pop archetype that will attract a certain niche of women. I'm not saying that it's an end-all be-all rule. Some chicks just love, you know, skinny guys, and that's their norm. Some girls like dad bods because they're insecure that the guy's always checking themselves out. You know, they're kind of insecure about their own looks, so they would rather have, you know, a slightly pudgy dude. Reminds them of their dad, or maybe they have daddy issues or whatever, right? You know what I mean? I will tell you one thing, okay? And this is for all the men. If you are a man listening to this right now, I want you to understand one thing. If you're listening to all of these male influencers, including me, even including me, okay? If you're listening to all of these different kinds of male influencers who are telling you the money, you know, get the abs, get the muscles, get this, get that. They're telling you, follow this new trend, follow this new workout regime that I created, follow this thing, follow that thing. In your life, if you are scattered, right? Opposite of flow state. If you are scattered and kind of going and weaving everywhere, you're being pulled by these other men. So you are technically submissive, okay? Subservient, supplicating to those men, if you think about it, okay? Because the male energy is that stillness, the masculine energy is that stillness. You gotta be grounded like the bottom of the ocean. That's reference to the YouTube intro, by the way. Or you understand that the feminine is change, okay? Anything that is unmanifest, womb energy, right? Darkness, kala, okay? Time. It's emptiness, it's darkness, it's chaos, okay? It's the yin, it's the receptive, it's the yielding. These male influencers who are changing you, okay? If they are changing you, then that means you are feminine. You see, because you're changing. The masculine does not change. The masculine is congruent and still. That doesn't mean you don't evolve and refine yourself, okay, and become a better man. But what I am saying is you don't shift around so many different ideologies, and like, you have a purpose, right? You have a purpose, a mission, a direction. This type of Zen master energy where you can just go, oh, that primordial buzz that you feel, that's your sex aura. You gotta walk like your nuts are swinging, bro. Like, seriously. A lot of people, they walk around like they can't take up space. Oh my God, he's mansplaining, he's manspreading, okay? As soon as we add the word man onto anything, it becomes a bad word. Why is that? Okay? What about women-splaining? Is that a thing? Woman spreading. Okay? That sounds hella wrong, okay? That sounds hella wrong. Don't get any ideas, okay? All you perverts out there listening and watching this video. It has the word sex in it, so I am going to click it, right? That's the general like framework that a lot of people have, right? It's like sex sells. We all know that. You're being diverted and, you know, being pulled through all of these different mechanisms because of your own survival. Your own genetic code wants to procreate. It wants to have sex. It wants to do that thing, man. And it creates all of these different multifaceted ways to try and get there, right? Some people are like, I need a 4.0 GPA in order to slang some punani today. Like, bro, why have you given yourself that criteria? I have to get a house in the hills, then I have to go, you know, to the boardroom meeting to make sure I get that promotion on time, okay? And then I can finally go over and have sex with my wife, okay? Why are you giving yourself all of these different loopholes to walk through, right? All these permission slips, right? All of these different things you're doing, you're buying lots of jewelry, you know, trying to overemphasize yourself, making yourself look sexier through all these cosmetic surgeries and all this stuff. What are you doing? You're giving yourself permission to be more sexy when you already are, and there's a version of you that's already sexy, right? And that version of you that's already sexy is not thinking about it. You see, it's not over intellectualizing the sexiness, it's just feeling it. How do you feel when you feel sexy? You feel more open. You don't feel rigid, right? You don't feel more contained. You just feel open, flowing, right? Authentic, pure, just flowing through the world, man. Just allowing whatever needs to come out to come out. You're not attached to that information. It's freely out there, okay? Just like me. Am I like, oh my gosh, I'm giving too much information to these people? Well, maybe I gave too less. Okay, no, it's just the perfect amount, all these videos, man. And I make a video every day. For most people, it takes them like a whole month to make one video on YouTube, man. And some people are like, quality over quantity. Bro, tell me that my videos aren't quality, okay? It's quality plus quantity, motherfucker, okay? So that's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and just pretend, okay, that I have a sexual aura. I'm gonna look into some of the Kundalini and Tantric teachings and understandings to unravel what having a sex aura is. And if you are interested, we have the Primal Sutra Mystery School, okay? This is where we teach you flow state and mysticism in fusion. We will only work with savage shamans. We're not working with weak-ass people, okay? If you're a weak-ass person, you shouldn't even be on this channel. You shouldn't even be watching this. Surprised that you haven't even been offended by now. If you resonate, if you're like, man, that guy's speaking some truth, man, what the hell? He's onto something, man. He's doing something different. He seems to be going off on his own tangents in his own world, and he's creating something. And if you get inspired, we hold a lot of our tension around this area of the head. But if you breathe deep into your belly, try this right now. Deep belly breathing. And imagine you're sending energy down to the earth. Now try raise your Kundalini energy by walking and doing fire breath. Let's do it together. Let's do it together right now. That fire breath as you're walking at the same time, okay? But understand that the sexual energy is actually water energy, it's not fire energy. But what I am doing is I'm raising the fire up so that I have more energy to relax into. Once your energy and life force energy is very high, or you're turned on, or you're aroused by something, you know, realize this, right? Arousal, no matter how we are aroused, whether it be sexual or whether we're just aroused by fear or aroused by, you know, different other kind of stimuli that leads a different response. It doesn't only mean sexual arousal, right? It just means being tuned in, being wired in, being turned on, being alert. And so when you're making love or you're fucking, okay, two different things, but they can merge, okay? That's why we have our own path working love and lust together. You know? Kamadeva, Asmadeva, okay? The understanding of both of those frequencies, and then coming in the middle through the 8-point or the infinity loop, okay? There's two different types of love, man. There's the bad boy love, which is on demon time. And then there is the sweet lover, slow, carezza, you know, love. The tantric love. That kind of love is more so, in a sense, slowing time down, okay? Whereas the other one is very primal. So how does the priest beast fuck? How does the priest beast make love? So how does the priest beast have sex? Exactly like that. They combine the darkness with the light. They find the harmony of their lovemaking. Living your life like you're making love. That's how you have a sex aura, okay? You do things sexily. Isn't that self-explanatory, right? Like, let's say when you're making love, right? It's good to watch your pacing and your tone and your breath. You're making love. Sometimes you gotta be rough in life. Sometimes you gotta be soft in life, right? Sometimes you gotta be more yielding in yin. Sometimes you gotta be more yang. So the priest beast understands this mechanism. They understand that they don't have to be lopsided or in one side of this pole. They can find a way to create their own understanding of it. That's when you start becoming more conscious of how you're actually being portrayed and what you're actually doing, right? Because a lot of people, man, they don't give themselves the opportunity to shine, okay? Like, you might be one of the sexiest people on the planet, but you are in an environment where you're being promulgated by all this imagery, and maybe you're having all these different ideals and westernization and egoic concepts stacked on top of one another, that you just don't feel sexy, man. You have all this sexual shame around you, like your cultural conditioning. Maybe you grew up in a culture that was like, oh, sex is bad, and we as kids were told that masturbation is such a bad thing and such a bad thing to do, and you shouldn't be doing that, and blah blah blah. And I get it from a religious context, but you gotta understand, really, is it self-pleasure or is it masturbation? Because two different things, man. Self-pleasure is not creating more friction with your hand. Maybe self-pleasure is just you stroking the hairs on your chest, okay? Now, would a man want flower petals all over him and stuff? Maybe not, okay? Maybe the dude just gets a really good oil and massages himself and allows himself to feel good, right? Have that self-care so that you feel sexy, man. You get a nice haircut, you get a nice trim, right? You trim your beard. You do these little things because they're ritualistic. Why do they matter? They're mating rituals, bro. It's not self-care, it's mating rituals. That's what we understood through our path working, okay? Literally everything that you're doing is for sex, so you might as well own it. You might as well become that sexy version of you instead of waiting as a bystander on the sidelines watching somebody else fuck your girl. Like, stop doing that shit. Stop becoming a cuck, because this culture will popularize that and romanticize cuckery, okay? Cuckoldry or whatever.
I'm a cuckold. David Lindhagen cuckolded me. He made a cuckold out of me. He slept with my wife, and I didn't know about it. And that is the definition of cuckolddom. David Lindhagen took my wife and slept with her. Thought I did everything right. Got married, had kids, the house. What do I get for it? I get cuckolded. David Lindhagen cuckolded me. He made a cuckold out of me.
Don't become that, man, because otherwise society is going to create that. It's like sissification. There's porn out there that are making men more gay because they suddenly show you a quick flash of like a transgender image as you're watching heterosexual straight porn. A flash like a woman with a eggplant. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying you have to go and start an OnlyFans because you feel so sexy, okay? Really, really think about this topic. Sexual aura manifestation. I think you just lifting your hands up like this, like raise the roof with a breath, eradicates the identity. So what I want you to really do is go back to the past, all the past versions of you. It's been that awkward loner, that skinny person who just doesn't get all the results in the gym, or your mind is full of all of these grotesque sexual imagery and you can't really, formulate that raw vital power, right, that lets you live life and enjoy life to a greater extreme, right? So if you keep having these issues, man, reach out to me, okay? Reach out to me. There's sexual healing. There's sexual healing that can be done, okay? And we don't recognize it. That's the thing. We just simply don't recognize our gifts and our true powers. Your sex aura can probably reach an entire amphitheater, and yet you choose to stay isolated all by yourself in your own spiritual world, and there's nothing wrong with isolation when it is intentional, okay? Solitude that is intentional, where you're meditating, where you're going into a Vipassana 10-day retreat, when you're doing these things, right? That's intentional, that's powerful. But you're an adult, okay? You're not a kid anymore, you're not in high school, okay? Going around chasing these people, trying to track them down, trying to puff up your chest to look, you know, exaggerated in your confidence. Because you just gotta shock the system. Awake. One of the most classic Bengali songs, bro, playing right now in the background. All right, so hope I don't get copyright strike for this, but at this point I don't really care. I'm not really choosing to monetize my videos. I want you guys to have the content, okay? I want you guys to learn from this, and if at any case you resonate with this, you want more of this, maybe in the future this will all be on some cloud somewhere where you can get access to it, okay? I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. We're all gonna make it. Sex shamans, it's time to wake up.